ever had one goal: to wipe out half the universe. If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
We got one advantage. He's coming to us. We have what Thanos wants, so that's what we'll use.
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
The end is near. When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. I hope they remember you.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
Groot morning, everyone. This is awesome. So they dropped this super early. I love the way they tagged that Spider-Man joke at the end. Oh, we're using our made-up names. I'm Spider-Man then. He's just bringing back the Doctor Strange joke from the Doctor Strange movie. No, my name is Strange. Well, who am I to judge? So if you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. I'm also doing an Infinity Gauntlet replica giveaway. All you have to do to enter that is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. Seriously, the only reason I'm not screaming into the microphone is because it's super early in the morning when I'm making this video. But one of the greatest things about the trailer is, some of the comic book moments that they reference, like they pick up with that Gamora speech explaining the Infinity Gauntlet. He could destroy half of all life in the universe with a snap of his fingers, and then she does the finger snap from the comics. But you actually get a shot of young Gamora, so it does look like this will be some of the flashbacks to younger Thanos when she was growing up, when either he'd already taken her from her home or when he conquered her home and took her as tribute. But let's just go through this shot by shot, just because there's so much stuff, we could talk about this all day. So I love the way that they rotate the camera in that opening shot. It's just like the Black Panther movie, so I guess I should say spoilers for Black Panther. When Killmonger becomes king and they sort of rotate the camera, it's a way visually to tell you that the narrative is getting flipped on its head because someone who's supposed to be the villain is taking over the narrative. And in Infinity War, it's Thanos that's taking over the narrative. So it's like he's becoming king of the entire universe, like Killmonger was becoming king of Wakanda. Even though all the banner shots that we've seen are either in the Sanctum or in Wakanda, this actually might be in the new Avengers facility before they go to Wakanda, like when they're loading up the Quinjet to fly out. You just get shots of all the different areas that the Avengers pop up in. Like you can see against the background of the Sanctum here, like the ship is actually reflected in the glass, just careening across the sky. Then you see Iron Man shoot up after it. You get a much clearer version of the shot we got from the teaser yesterday. So the really cool thing about the Bleeding Edge armor that we've kind of known, but we haven't really seen really good shots of, is it just reconfigures itself as Iron Man needs it to, the same way that Black Panther's costume can use nanites to just form around him. The thing here, though, is that as Gamora starts her voiceover explaining the Infinity Gauntlet, she's actually on the Milano talking to the other Guardians and anybody else that might be on the ship at that moment, probably to Thor because he picks up with them relatively early in the film. But here you can actually see Iron Man inside the Sanctum talking to Doctor Strange. So that actually happens relatively early in the film too, because Strange is one of the few people that actually has really detailed information on the Infinity Stones. But if you haven't read the prequel comic, I've already done a couple videos explaining that story. They basically explain Doctor Strange talking to Wong about the location of the Infinity Stones, what each of them do, the danger that they sense that's coming, this really crazy cosmic unease that's in the air that they can sense with their magic. So he contacts Iron Man, he shows up at the Sanctum, and you pick up with Banner like crashing right through that skylight. Tell me his name again. It's almost like Voldemort. Speak his name and the devil shall appear. You see this fire in the background here as he's pulling his helmet off. This actually might be on Thor's ship because there's a couple different shots with Loki standing with the Black Order later in the trailer, and Thanos grabs the Tesseract and smashes it so that he can take the space gem out and put it in the gauntlet. Like, look at the gauntlet here right now. He only has the power gem in it, so he's already been to Xandar. So I don't know that they're going to deny us that pleasure, so that might be just some sort of condensed sequence at the beginning of the film. Because the total runtime, I think, is about 2 hours and 36 minutes, making it the longest Marvel film that they've ever made by a couple minutes. Civil War is only a couple minutes shorter than that, so it's not like it's way longer than the longest Marvel film so far. But even so, some of the sequences where he takes certain gems will probably be quicker than others. Like the Mind Gem is going to be one of the longest ones because, like Iron Man says, we have what he wants, we'll use that. So Vision, living MacGuffin, gets taken to Wakanda. You get a much longer shot of Peter on his class field trip, making a beeline for that ship. This is Doctor Strange after that shot of Banner crashing through and everybody freaking out and heading for the door. So Doctor Strange is like, all right, activate the time gem, time to throw down. Because this is happening with all this greenery behind them, this might be after they've gone to Wakanda, when Vision is just like sitting there waiting for the attack to come. Like everybody just waiting for Thanos to rip that gem right out of his forehead. Welcome back to Wakanda, Cap. You get a better shot of Vision and everybody climbing out of the Quinjet. You see Rhodey's new harness that he walks in. Like, I don't think that it was going to be too much trouble for Iron Man to magic some tech up for him. So even though his spine is probably going to be damaged for the rest of his life, he'll still move around like a totally normal person in the movie. I think I already talked about it during all of my Black Panther post-credit scene videos and Easter egg videos, but for the most part, anybody that survived the Black Panther movie is going to show up during Infinity War, even Everett Ross, although you don't really see him anywhere in these trailers. Shuri has Vision on the table, examining the Mind Gem. She was responsible for fixing Winter Soldier's mind. In the prequel comic, she brags that their AI technology is more advanced than the technology used to create Ultron, which was the technology used to create Vision. Just a really big hat tip for what she might eventually be doing, programming, messing with Vision's mind so that they could extract the Mind Gem. Like, you can see the digital representation of all this yellow of the energy from the Mind Gem inside his brain, looking for a safe way to separate him from that, because Thanos is going to assemble the gauntlet, so that means that it's coming out of his forehead one way or another. Think of all the broken white boys coming to Shuri right after this giant battle with the Outriders. I love the way that they're all banging up against that Wakandan shield. Raise all defenses, get that man a shield. Because you see the Guardians climbing out on this station, and you see the trawler here that looks like it might be on Nowhere, this might be them trying to get to the Collector before Thanos does. I actually posted a video with that scene, so I'll add a link for it at the end of this. But it's basically Thanos stepping on the Collector, just trying to squeeze the life out of him, finding out what he did with the reality gem. This is probably the truest real comedy scene next to that Spider-Man Doctor Strange moment. Here's the thing, your plan real good, but it sucks. Let's do my plan so it doesn't suck. There was that video that I posted with Captain America and Black Widow where the interviewer was asking them, what's it like having two quippy people like Chris Pratt and Robert Downey Jr. on screen together? And he's like, well, we pepper that in there. It's not like they're on screen together all the time. Since we don't see any shots of Iron Man on the Milano, I'm wondering if they actually crash on Titan inside Thanos' ship. Like maybe they make their way inside, then the ship goes back to Titan, but separately the Guardians also come to Titan. The look on Peter's face as Iron Man just gets so tired of listening to Chris Pratt is hilarious. This is just like the Underoos moment during Civil War. Iron Man's having flashbacks. Oh my god, I'm getting tired of hearing this other person talk into my ear. Peter is basically the audience proxy, like he can't hardly believe what's going on. He's so excited to be here. Much bigger shot of that Wakandan battle. You see the ships that they ride out to on. I'm sure they'll be selling those in stores. Like, that's part of the point of these movies, is selling a lot of toys in addition to being really cool. Much better shot of Bucky with his vibranium arm. Inspector Gadget style, we've talked about how that arm can probably do other things like reconfigure to make other weapons if he needs to, like Cap has the gauntlets that turn into the shields. We haven't talked about it a whole lot, but I think we all agree that the Hulk is inside the Hulkbuster for at least part of the film, so most of you probably could tell that this is the Hulkbuster 2.0. It's just an upgraded version of the one that we saw during Age of Ultron. There's a really cool extended scene of Thor getting ready to forge his new Stormbreaker weapon with Rocket and adolescent Groot. Much better shot of Thanos in his full armor with his classic helmet on. This obviously looks like that flashback scene that I was talking about earlier in the video. With him with Gamora, it might be her original home planet that he came to conquer with the Chitauri. More of them just standing around. Haven't really seen the Chitauri in a while after the Avengers blew up most of their fleet. I love Thanos' voiceover too. Perfectly balanced. Hopefully they remember you, but he has that funny glasses half full comment where he says, well, you know, half of all life will still be alive. When he is grabbing Thor's head here too, squeezing him like a grape, this might be happening really early in the film when he boards the Asgardian ship. Like I said, this is the Black Order. This is probably when they come to take the space gem. Loki probably trades it and his allegiance to them in order to spare most of these people's lives, although there's a lot of dead people in the background here. But we finally get better shots of the Black Order. So from left to right, you have Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw, Corvus Glaive, and then Cole Obsidian. Like I said, his name's Black Dwarf in the comics, but in the movie he's being called Cole Obsidian. In the comics, the name of the entire team is Cole Obsidian. Kevin Feige said that really early in the film, there'll be a couple moments that will tell you exactly how big, bad, and powerful Thanos is. Squeezing the Tesseract and cracking it like a walnut is one of those moments. The thing about this, though, is that when the Hulkbuster is in this fight, we've actually seen Hulk running behind Captain America. I'm wondering when he finally becomes Hulk again, because there have been a lot of rumors about Banner's arc during the film, and for the most part, he's Banner in all the footage we've seen. So unless they're misleading us, at some point he will be able to become the Hulk again, and the Hulkbuster will just be remote piloted by Friday or some other AI. Maybe they stick one of her vibranium receivers on it and she just remote pilots the Hulkbuster from her lab. That'd actually be pretty badass. Pretty cool combination of powers here on the Titan battle. So you have Doctor Strange creating his glyphs so that Star-Lord can run across the battlefield. This is probably one of my favorite shots though, is Ebony Maw coming for Doctor Strange's time gem. And you could just see like Loki tried to come after Doctor Strange during Thor Ragnarok and he just totally threw him out of one of those portals. But Ebony Maw is supposed to be so much more badass that they make it look like his magic is more powerful than Doctor Strange's. Like their powers aren't exactly the same. Ebony Maw is more about mental manipulation than he is about raw sorcery. But I think in the movie they'll present him as being like a dark version of Doctor Strange in terms of his abilities. Love the way they cut these two Thanos shots too. So him jumping at frame, obviously coming at the Avengers while they're on Titan, then separately coming for Captain America while they're in Wakanda. So that you can see all this greenery. Very clearly Thanos is here during this battle in Wakanda coming for the Mind Gem. It's just that this is the first time we've seen him, but it's really more meant to show you how strong Captain America is. Obviously, Thanos is way more powerful. And even though we only see 2 gems in the Gauntlet, this might be one of those Thor Ragnarok CG trickery moments where we're not seeing exactly the way it's going to happen when we get the theatrical cut of the film. Like, okay, we're just going to delete a couple of the gems here so people don't know how many he has when he makes it to Wakanda. Really awesome dexterous shot of Spider-Man swinging through all the ruins of Titan here. The only bummer is that he doesn't have his Iron Spider arms on. We all know about that at this point, so I feel like it's not a spoiler. But let me know in the comments what's your favorite part of this. And obviously, I'll be doing bonus videos about some of this stuff for the next couple of days. But just let me know in the comments which videos you want me to start with first. So congratulations to the giveaway winner from my last big video, Jorge Fire. Please private message me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. I'll name a new winner when I post new Marvel, which will be tomorrow, so no worries. Click here for more of those Infinity War promos that they've been dropping, and click here to learn about the New Gods movie that DC just announced. That's totally crazy. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.
Hold up.